that car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
So the book I read, Mind Gym, is about Gary Mack, and it's about athletes overcoming different obstacles and how to improve better mental health, better mental strength, to improve overall physical health, physical strength. It was very beneficial because it's teaching different lessons on what it means to be a good athlete, both mentally and physically. It is forwarded by Alex Rodriguez, and Gary Mack is a psychiatrist who works with athletes at all different levels, including NBA, professional, MLB athletes. He's even worked with Olympic athletes, and he has a really well-known credibility. So my softball career started when I was about 5 years old. I played softball for a while, like t-ball, and then I ended up playing baseball for 2 years, and then I went back to softball. And that led me all the way through middle school, high school, until my junior year. I had some conflict that happened. So my junior year, I was a power lifter for my high school, and I was benching, and when I went to rack the weight, I felt a small pop in the inside of my right elbow. I had experienced some pain the rest of the week, and I had a softball tournament that weekend, and when I went to throw, I felt another pop in the inside of my elbow. We had sort of seen a doctor after that, and we found out that I had torn my UCL. I went under and did a PRP treatment as platelet-rich plasma, where they took my blood and they spun it and put it back in my elbow. It was about an 8 to 9 week recovery, and I ended up going the full 9 weeks until we found out that it didn't work. I then decided that I wanted to play my high school season, and so I sat out 5-6 months until August of 2022, where I underwent a UCL repair to my right elbow, and that's an 8 to 9 month recovery. Ended up sitting out all 9 months. I was able to come back after a little over 328 days, and that put me about at the summer after my senior year, and I started experiencing some more elbow pain, so I saw 3 different surgeons, and it led me to the Cincinnati Reds surgeon, Timothy Kremchek, and we had found out in about October 5th, that I had completely retorn my UCL again. I needed a full reconstruction. Going to the doctors each month, not knowing what you're going to get, is this a good checkup or a bad checkup? Mind Gym has taught me different ways to combat mental weakness, dealing with all these injuries and sitting out of something that's brought so much to me, and now like I'm sitting on the sidelines watching my team. I felt it's a pretty difficult mental challenge, and there was the 7 C's that Gary specifically talked about in the book. That was like competitive, being a competitor, having confidence and courage, and learning how to deal with the situation. It's really difficult when you're standing on the sidelines every day and watching something that's brought so much to you, it's being taken away, and learning from this book, like what you can control, you need to be able to control, and what I can control in this situation is my emotions, and being respectful and responsible to my teammates, and just having a good attitude and letting my teammates know that I'm there. What I can't control is that I'm on the sidelines, so whatever I can do to have control of the situation is what's most important at the end of the day. In the book, Gary talks about using your mind right, and he says, if you don't like the program you're watching, switch the channel. Learning how to use your mind, or your mind will use you. Being able to control where you're at emotionally is extremely important in any situation. Mind Gym has not only impacted my everyday life, but mainly sports and softball. It's taught me that no matter the circumstance, there's always something you can control out of the situation, and being able to control the things I can control them. The things you can't, let them go. I'm also excited to get back into softball. I believe this book has brought me a better outlook on my mental well-being, being able to perform and knowing that my body might not feel the same, my arm might not feel the same when I'm going to perform, but my mind's even stronger. I've learned that in this book that, Gary talks about a lot of different exercises you can incorporate in your everyday life, and one thing that athletes miss a lot, and I've missed a lot myself, is we work out multiple days a week, we do all this strengthening and stretching, but we don't do anything for our minds. And taking what Gary's taught me in this book and using it, incorporating it in my everyday life, has helped not only like for softball, but in school. It's given me such an outlook where I now look at my other teammates and I try to go out of my way to help them understand it too, but it's really important to me now that I really understand it. And after going through these battles with my arm injury 3 years in a row now, the impact is pretty strong. Fun fact, it'll be 11 more months that I have until I'm able to play softball again here at Malone. but from my last game of softball played to potentially my next softball game played here at Malone will be a little over 600 days.